This foot massage will literally solve all of your problems. So you just saw the start of that foot massage. You want to stick around for the rest of this video because we're going to cover a lot of other body parts. We're going to be doing the hamstrings, glutes, calves, and we're going to look at trigger point therapy, opening up the fascia, all done by Max King. Now make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any daily uploads, and I'll see you on the next one. Up next, we have Max King.
Today we're gonna work on legs. We're gonna start with the feet, go all the way up to the glutes. We're gonna warm up the feet so that you can go deep into the structure, into the plantar fascia. Start running, when you start training, when you wear heels, you create a lot of adhesion. That's why we are working it and opening it up. Like subtalar joint, increasing the range of motion and working on that adhesion of the heel. Then we're gonna go all the way up to the calves. Because if the calves are tight, you're going to start feeling that plantar fascia. And sometimes even the extensor of the feet. And then we're going to move to the tibialis anterior, a muscle that helps to control the arch medially. So you want to releasing it. As I said, this can be full of a trigger point. You see how I find a jump sign there, and the client just jump up as soon as I touch it. It's actually you work when you are in extension, you can really go deep and touch it. Then I always, after a trigger point work, I always try to relax the client. So when I work with the elbow or with the ulna, I know that that's pretty pleasurable. For example, when I work with the point of the elbow, I know that back or with the olecranon, I know that that can be painful. So you need to know your tools, and if the client doesn't have any trigger point, it's not that painful. I actually can give a good release. Like I'm doing right now, I'm trying to open up the semitendinoso, semimembranoso, and the biceps femoris. And then I like to use different position because different angle, different position give a different massage. What does it mean? It means that if you're comfortable, you make the client comfortable. So you always have to find a position that is comfortable. So right now I'm in the middle of the septum and I go all the way to the ischiotuberosity. You always have to find a rhythm. A rhythm is important. It's important for relaxation. If you find a rhythm, a flow, your client is going to relax. If you keep on changing rhythm, I would call it physical non-communication, where the client is like, what's going on? I can't find... the client has to doze off, even if you're doing something that is really painful. Like, for example, that massage I was doing before with the thumb was like for the gastrocnemius, to liberate the gastrocnemius that insert on the femur. So, yeah, pushing down that semitendinoso, semimembranoso. In this case, we are using... the active release technique. I was asking the client to activate the hamstring. And I'm using shea butter. I think is perfect. Give me a really good grip. For example, this glute maximus, it's perfect for not to be to slide on top of the surface, but to really go deeper and deeper into the muscle. So right now I'm doing like a 6 line on top of the glutes that work the 6 deep rotators and help releasing the piriformis muscle. That is actually probably what I'm doing. I'm releasing the piriform muscle. I'm moving in this way so you can see better, and I will the piriform muscle can get really tight when you start running, for the same reason why the ankle is, if the ankle is too tight, along the back chain and go all the way up to the glute medius and the piriformis muscle. So sometimes when you start running, you feel the piriform muscle really tight, and that's why I'm helping out my client to get rid of that pain, to get rid of that tension. Proximal, and some work on the glute medius. One thing I want to point my finger is it's really important that you have a lot of trust, and the client have trust in you, because we are touching part of the body that not be usually touched. So a lot of respect and a lot of trust has to be there, because as a professional, I'm aware that my work can be from people that are looking from outside. Some people can think this is a kind of a soft porn, but it's not. It's actually what I do. This is the massage I give. This is what I do. What I do with all clients, men, women, all age. It doesn't matter. Working on a thoracic spine, like to finish the massage from on the sacrum. I give some mobilization of the hips. So the first thing I like to do is like a palpate. Palpate for me is like a moment when the first moment you get in contact with the client. You're looking for different temperature. You're looking for adhesion. You look for knots in the back, in this case, in the tissues, and you try to notice the difference between one side and the other side. Deep massage. When you go to the work in the deep layers of the tissues, and you try to open the traps and the muscle that are under the traps, you want always to be in contact with your client in a symbiotic kind of way. You want to be sure that what you're doing is not too much. So you're always asking for feedback. So right now we are moving the traps down toward the lesser tuberosity, but is really important part of where all the rotatory cuff muscle and I'm working the supraspinatus. Supraspinatus is a muscle that is always get tight. It's the one that most of the time create the pain in front of your shoulder. So you want to try to release it in the same way that you release your upper trap. The upper trap works a lot, goes to exercise, goes to position when you stay in front of the computer. Most of the time here I'm pressing down the rhomboid, I'm pressing down on the rotatory cuff muscle, especially the infraspinosus and the teres minor. I like to go in that part where the lesser tuberosity is, because there is where you meet the latissimus dorsi, is where you meet the teres major and the triceps. And it's really helpful to release that part. Right now, for the sake of the camera, I'm doing everything pretty fast not to bore you, but this technique you can stay there for 1-2 minutes working that part really deep and releasing if you stay longer. Arms overhead and spread the latissimus dorsi and all the posterior oblique sling. The posterior oblique sling is an interesting concept, that we are connected in a spiral in the front and in the back. That's why we are able to do movement like golf, like tennis, like throwing a punch or throwing a kick. So I love shoulder rolls. Shoulder rolls are a good preparation for the next and main treatment we're gonna do. And it's a way to relax with your client, to work the 360 movement of the scapula, and a way to step away for a second from the hardcore work on the tissue. You can even close your eyes and feel the movement of the shoulder. Close the gap between the scapula and the spine. So it's a great technique that you can do for, like, here we're gonna do it like really faster for the camera, but it's a great technique that you can do for like a 30 second, 40 second, 1 minute. And then what I like to add with a thigh scapula pull and press, I leverage with the thumb in the middle of the rhomboid, and I press the rhomboid, I press under the scapula, while in the same time I'm pulling the glenohumeral joint, the shoulder.
If you made it to the end of the video, guys and girls, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.